this is Tom, aka Jetty, here for Tabletop Tap Room. Today we're reporting on the news that's coming out about Wizards of the Coast's executive meeting where they said the brand was under monetized. Now, Eric Tenkar actually reported on this. I'm going to try not to duplicate his video. I carefully read the article. Dungeons & Dragons executives say the brand is really under monetized. And I pulled out several comments from this article, and it's I just want to point out that there were like 6 major points to this whole article. Number 1, the brand is under monetized. 2, that the digital toolkit of D&D Beyond was recently acquired, and it is a powerful tool for players to access content. 3, the execs are less worried about design than installing more on-ramps for players to spend money. 4, the DMs are the largest share of the paying, not playing, paying customers, and they want to unlock the type of reoccurrent spending you see in digital games. And Chris Cox described a number 5, Chris Cox described a 4 quadrant, I can't even say the word, brand, and big AAA video games. And then the feature film Honor Among Thieves is key to boosting D&D to a lifestyle brand and merchandising. Now, of those 6 comments, only one of them wasn't directly about money, but it actually is about money, and that is the digital D&D toolkit, D&D Beyond, which is recently acquired a powerful tool for players to access content. They are so focused on money. We're not getting enough money. They made a ton of money during COVID, but we're not getting enough. We want to get more. So I think the future of the D&D Beyond is going to be microtransactions. You're going to pay for everything. You're going to pay for your content. You got to pay for your subscription. They're looking to get blood from a rock. Is where they're going with this. You're going to have to pay. It is not fair to them that you play D&D and don't pay them. They want your money, and they're out to get it. So the whole focus is we're gonna get blood from the rock. We're gonna milk the dead cow, and that's where they're going with this. Now, I think it overlooks 2 things. The problem here is that it overlooks 2 things. Number 1, if DMs are the largest share of your paying customers, and there's been some recent articles about, that only 20% of the D&D players out there are DMs, of the 5e D&D players out there are DMs. Excuse me 1 minute while I shut the door because the cat is making noise. I'm sorry. Don't even like the cat, but she kills the rodents. So, I actually like the cat, but she's a pain in the butt. Anyhow, if DMs are the largest share of your paying players, you need more DMs. And they're only 20%. It's not, well, how can we drain money out of the rest of the 80%? You need to make the rest of that 80% DMs, and they'll just pay, and they'll be happy to do it because they've become DMs. And you won't have the perception of being greedy, money grubbing, corporate, suits, which nobody really likes. It's a trope that we like to hate. It's a trope in movies that always is, the corporate suit is never the good guy. And they eventually get killed in the movie, and you like when they get killed. Okay? And if you don't believe me, go watch Aliens. So that's number 1. And people would love it. If you were sponsoring YouTube creators to do how to DM and making it easier to DM. That one D&D was going to be about making it easier to DM. So I don't know. I think that's number one being overlooked. No, no. Number two, the execs are less worried about design than installing more on-ramps for players to spend money. Yeah, we don't care if it's a good product. Just shut up and give us your money. If it's a good product, people will buy it. People want to buy quality products. Yeah, there are people out there that want they want the cheapest one. They want to go to Walmart and they don't want to spend a lot of money. But there comes a point in time where you start to realize, you know what? I don't want these $30 boots. I'm going to buy those $90 boots because I know those $90 boots are going to hold together better. They're quality. I'm just pulling numbers out of the air here. Don't perseverate on the numbers I just threw out there. I've actually spent much more than $90 on a pair of boots, but it's you reach a point in life where you realize that getting quality is getting more bang for your buck is important. And I've heard this sort of thinking before. A friend of mine went to a convention, was talking to the people behind Witch Hunter, the Unseen World RPG. And one of the pieces of advice they gave him, because he was working on smaller, trying to get their first product out, game designer. And one of the pieces of advice he got from these much more successful game designers was, don't worry about the rules. Don't worry about the game system. That it doesn't matter. Do a good setting. Do a good genre. That's what people buy into. And I found that interesting because my wargaming club had played Witch Hunter. We would get together. We'd get together on Saturday at the wargaming club, but we'd also get together. We started getting together in the middle of the week at somebody's house and playing a RPG. And somebody brought in Witch Hunter. Says, "This really looks cool. Let's try this." And so we're sitting around the table, and everybody wants to play it. It sounds cool. It looks cool. Nobody wants to game master it. So I was the good doobie, and I says, "All right, I'll do it." What a frustrating game system that is. The first, I think it's in second edition now, so I can't speak to second edition, but first edition, frustrating for the game master. It sucked. It was horrible. I mean, it was just miserable prepping for a game. And I could go into why, but it was just a miserable. And so after, I think after 2 sessions, I told everybody, I said, "Stick a fork in me. I'm done." They're like, no, we're having fun. We like it. And I'm like, I'm not having fun. I hate this. I says, here's why. And I outlined why. I says, this is why I don't like this. And so nobody else stepped up and ran it. But miserable rule system. And how hard is it to put together a play-tested rule set, work out some of the bugs, make it easier, smoother. They just don't care if they produce a good product. They don't care. And they just want the money. Just fastest route to making money. So that's number 2. And number 3, they're looking to do this whole tabletop role-playing game is going to be just one cog in the machine, 4 quadrants. We're going to have merchandising. We're going to have the game. We're going to have movies and TV and electronic media and digital content online. And so it's going to be all of these income streams pouring money into the bucket. Oh, we're going to just drain all of this money out of the market. And part of that is they're hanging their hopes on this movie, which is not out yet. They're hanging their hopes that the D&D Honor Among Thieves movie will be wow. And I've gone back because I had watched some reviews after the trailer breakdown reviews. And one or two of the people that I really, really like, and I go to them for reviews, they were picking apart some things. They were kind of picking apart. Now, you can find a lot of trailer breakdown reviews done by people who are like, yeah, I'm a D&D fan, yeah! And so they're going through and they're finding all the Easter eggs. Oh, yeah, that's got to be the Horn of Orcus. Hey, is Chris Pines part of the Harpers? They're finding all those details, and they think all of that is cool. But then I go to the more critical thinkers, and they're like, yeah. So I don't know. The jury's still out on that, and they're hanging all of their hopes on this being a smash hit so they can turn this into a lifestyle brand. Well, what happens if that doesn't work? It may not have the success that they are hoping to have. So it's the future of 1D&D is going to be a lot of shut up and give us your money. Now, it's okay if I say that. Shut up and take my money. Okay? But I don't like it when somebody tells me, shut up and just give us your money. Nobody likes that. Okay? The meme is out there where we say, shut up and take my money. And that's funny. But corporate execs saying, we got to find more ways to get the money out of these players. They've bought one book and a miniature, and they just play D&D, and how dare they not give us their money? We got to get the money out of them. That's the future of it, and that's where I think it's going. And that's my concern. And I think it's actually good for the OSR. I think it's going to be good for old school games and for the old school renaissance, and for a lot of these third-party publishers. Will probably make out. People will be like, you know what? Yeah, it's just not liking that. And they'll maybe go there. And I'm sure there'll be people who will be fans and buy in. They want to make D&D like Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. I don't know if they'll succeed with that. They might. If they continue getting big name actors like Chris Pines to headline movies, maybe they'll succeed. But man, I just don't like being told by suits, you ain't paying me enough, you ain't paying us enough money. You make a good product, I'll give you my money. Okay, you make a good movie that honors the lore of what went before, I'm a fan. I'll continue to be a fan, and I'll buy merchandise. But the minute fans are a little bit critical and you're like, y'all are haters, screw you, screw the fans, we don't care, get over it, we'll just do what we want with our product. Fine, you don't have to have my money. So that's where this is going. It's I think they're overlooking the obvious. Just make a good product, encourage more people to be dungeon masters, make 1D&D more conducive for that, so that people who are players who don't want to become, dungeon masters might consider, hey, I think I might want to sit behind the wheel of this. I might want to be the one driving this. And I think the money would flow. Until we see what happens, that's my reading of the tea leaves. I think the tea leaves are starting to look pretty clear and not so murky. But I want to thank you for watching this video. I want to thank my subscribers. You guys are great. And if you have not subscribed, please do consider hitting the like, subscribe, and bell icon. Help me build the channel. And keep on gaming. Maybe consider something off of drive-thru from one of the smaller companies. Try something new. You might like it.